Hey, Ane, are you registered to vote?
No, I'm not 18.
Well, I'm not 18 either, but if you are, make sure you go out and vote.
And tune in to this next interview.
Hi, I'm Maya here with Tom Kohler, a member of the Pennsylvania State Democratic Committee, and today we're just going to be talking about voting. So, can you just tell us how you can register to vote?
Well, it's easier now than ever, Maya, to register to vote here in Pennsylvania. The easiest way for people to do it is online. You can go to votespa.com, enter all your information, and you can be registered to vote immediately. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way with a paper form that you can get at any post office, any state legislative office, borough hall, or township municipal building, and submit the application to voter services that way.
So, what happens if you're like 17 and you turn 18 like with the election, but like not the deadline?
If you were going to be 18 on the day of the election, but not turn 18 until after the deadline, you can register before the deadline as a 17-year-old as long as you're going to be 18 on election day. So it's important to remember that even though you may be 17 years old now, if you're going to be 18 on November 6th, you should register to vote immediately.
And what if you need like an absentee ballot?
Absentee ballots are also an application form that is done by paper. You can't do that online yet. You can download the form from the Montgomery County Voter Services website. Just do a quick Google search for Montco, PA Voter Services or Montco, PA absentee ballot. The paper form comes out, you fill it out, and you mail it over to Voter Services over at across from the courthouse here in Norristown, and they'll turn around and mail you your ballot, and then you fill out the ballot and mail it back in. Those deadlines are usually the week before, but just with the lag time in the mail, it's important to get those applications in as quickly as possible.
So, why do you think it's important for people to vote?
I think it's important because, I mean, we can all see in our society now, not just in Washington, but in Harrisburg and as well as Norristown and Montgomery County, there's a lot of things going on that are some good and some not so good. And it's important that everyone has their voices heard. And the only way to have their voices heard is to go to the ballot box and make them heard. We can complain on social media all we want. We can talk to our neighbors and friends and be upset about things. But if you really want to affect change, you have to make your voices heard. And voting every election, there's an election every year, not just in the presidential years or the midterms, but every year, it's important to make your voices heard. And so the voting registration deadline is October 9th. It's coming up in just a week or so here in Montgomery County. So make sure you get registered to vote and have your voices heard.
So, after you're registered, can you just take us through how voting day would be?
Sure. So once you're registered, and you'll get a card in the mail, and you'll know exactly where to go. If you're not sure where to go, you can contact Voter Services or your local municipal government, and they'll tell you exactly where. But you'll go to your local polling location at your precinct. There's over 440 of them here in Montgomery County, and you'll go to your voting place. The first time you vote, you will have to show an ID. That is just the first time you vote at a polling location, and after that, you will not have to show an ID. And there's information about that on the county website as well. You'll go in, you'll sign your name, or you'll say your name. They'll look your name up in the book. You'll sign your name next to your spot. They'll give you a little ticket that you're ready to go vote, and you'll walk over to the machine. Behind the curtain, the machine will light up. You'll push the buttons next to the candidates you prefer, and at the very end, there's a little light up button that says cast vote, and that's it.
So,
6 minutes.
So people say if it's not a presidential election, like it's not really important. Why is that not true?
It's not true because I'm a very big fan of a quote that was from a Speaker of the House, the U.S. House of Representatives back in the 1980s. His name was Tip O'Neill from Massachusetts, and he has a very famous quote, "All politics is local." The average citizen spends 5 minutes a week paying attention to government, politics, and current events. 4.5 minutes is what happens in Washington, and 30 seconds is everything else. That ratio really needs to be reversed. What happens in your local community, in your state, in your county, in your township or borough is far more going to have a bigger impact on your daily life than what goes on in Washington. And certainly what goes on in Washington, who your congressperson and who your senator are more of a day-to-day impact on your life than who the president is. We've had presidents from both parties, and people's lives chug along no matter what, but what really changes your life or what really impacts your life is what happens at the state and local level, and those elections are not every 4 years, they're every year.
That's true. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I will say to everybody out there, it's important. Please vote. Please register to vote. Please get out there, get your friends and neighbors registered to vote, and just be involved, be engaged, and be aware of what's going on in your community.
And one more thing, what is the deadline to register?
So the deadline to register to vote here in Pennsylvania is October 9th. It's a Tuesday, October 9th. It actually would be Monday, but it's a federal holiday, so Tuesday the 9th. The deadline to apply over here at Voter Services in Montgomery at Norristown is at 4:15. That's when their office closes. You can register up till midnight online at votespa.com, and all voters have to be registered by then in order to vote this November.
All right, thank you. I'm Maya here with Tom Kohler, and we talked about voter registration.